For me, the touring and working out go hand in hand for me because it's the workouts that I do while I'm on tour that allow me to have the stamina that I need to have on stage. Because when I perform, I really treat each show like it's a like it's a cardio class. I try to really move around and I make sure that I'm sweating. If I'm not sweating through all my clothes, then I know I haven't worked hard. But essentially, I move around to the point where I know I'm going to be. When I come to my room, I'm hanging my clothes up in the room so that they can dry for the next morning. That's how wet they are. And so, but to answer your question, it was a slow process to get to this point mentally where I gotta be in the gym. I gotta stay fit. I gotta get my stamina up. It started probably in the very early 2000s. I've been diagnosed with MS in 2000, and for the next couple of years, I was kind of floundering, trying to figure out, what I was going to do in terms of improving my health. So the first thing I tried was this thing called the Masta cleanse, which was a 10-day no food fast, where you only drink lemonade, this special lemonade that you make at home, and for the entire 10 days, that's all you drink. And so when I did it, my wife actually did it before I did, and she lost like 15 pounds. Looked like, I was like, wow, you look like when we first met, like her body just transformed. I was like, I'm trying this. So so I did it, and I lost a bunch of weight. Started to feel good, but after I did the cleanse, I literally went back to exactly what I was doing lifestyle-wise, as far as my diet, as far as not really exercising. And I found that within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the weight started to come back, and I was feeling heavy and bloated again. And then I realized that this has something to do with the food that I'm eating. It has something to do with what I'm putting in my body. And I started to do more research and read a bunch of different articles, trying to figure out kind of where these autoimmune diseases come from. And there were a lot of articles that pointed to diet and food. And so I started to just think that maybe I needed to make some changes. So the first changes that I made were I eliminated the white foods. So white sugar, white rice, white bread, white flour, completely eliminated all the white foods. And at the same time, I eliminated anything that contained high fructose corn syrup. I didn't realize how many things had high fructose corn syrup in it, but everything from ketchup to, jelly, all had this in it. And I learned that this man-made sugar that was usually made from GMO corn had a lot to do with our health, health and well-being, and it also had it was linked to a lot of these autoimmune diseases that are suddenly floating around, much more prevalently than they were 25, 30 years ago. And so those are the first two things that I eliminated. And then I decided to join the gym nearby where I live, and just slowly but surely started to do these workout routines. It was in the, I want to say the mid 2000s, so like probably 05, 06, around there. I got acquainted with a guy in Canada. His name is Vernus, Coach V, we call him. Him and his wife, she's a nutritionist. They were going to be coming out to one of my shows that I was performing in Winnipeg, Canada. And so over social media, I was telling them, that I wanted to try to make some changes. And they were like, "Oh, we have this great sort of workout routine that we can send you. It's a series of just body weight exercises, and we'll send you all the exercises, which is a demonstration of each exercise, and then we'll give you a workout for the day." And so that's how it started. They sent me They sent me all the exercises, which was in just like a big folder, and it had every single exercise. And then his wife would send me. Her name is Marianne. She would send me a workout for the week. So you're gonna do this many of this exercise, this many of this many of this, and I was knocking out these workouts in like 40 minutes. I was like, man, I'm sweating. I haven't lifted a weight. I haven't run. But I'm sweating. So this is good stuff. And so I decided to basically do that while I was on tour. I would do their exercises, their workout regimen. She would send me a new workout each week with a little bit more intense exercises, a little bit more reps. And that's how I got on the path. So when I got back home, I said, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going. And it turned into me joining the Y near my home. And the Y had these classes, HIIT classes. Started taking HIIT classes. And, the first time I went into the HIIT class, it's high intensity interval training. The first time I went in there, I would say maybe 10 minutes in, I walked out. I was like, I can't do this. This is crazy. And the guy was like, yo, just keep coming back, man. You're going to be all right. I was like, yo, this nonstop. I waited an entire year until I came back into that man's class. When I came back, I was in better shape, and I said, I'm doing this. And from that point, I started taking his classes every single week. He had 3 different classes. One was a HIIT class. One was like a kettlebell kind of strength class. And then on Fridays, that was the athletic training class. Was a bunch of different exercises around the room, and you switch and go to a different station. I love that. It reminded me of when I coached football. So anyway, that's how the journey for me started, and that was the schedule that I was on. I was taking his classes 3 days a week, and really sweating it out. And I found that my stage stamina improved greatly just from doing his classes, to the point where, and I would tell him when I came back off the road, I was like, man, doing your classes, it's like when I'm on stage performing, I don't get tired at all, because the show is nothing compared to what we do in your class. So it actually is making my life easier when I'm on stage. It's like nothing. And so that's the schedule that I was on until 2020, when the pandemic hit, and then everything kind of changed at that point. So I started doing workouts that were similar to Coach V and his wife's workouts. I was doing those in my living room. My wife would join in, my daughter would join in, because schools weren't open at that time. So I would set up little stations around the living room, move the furniture, and we would do our routines in the living room. And that was pretty good for a while. But then when it got hot and summer hit, it wasn't as conducive to being in the house. It was just really just too stuffy to be in the house working out. So I was like, I got to find some other way to get exercise. And so we had bicycles, and I was like, I'm going to start riding my bike. And I realized after in 2020, at the end of 2021, I need to get a road bike, because everybody else has road bikes. So I upgraded to a road bike. And what started out as just kind of like, a group of guys just riding bikes just to stay active and to be outdoors and get some sun, turned into like a full-fledged, bike community. It went from the gym, my routine at the gym, never got back to that. It turned into this bike riding lifestyle, and that's become kind of the new workouts that I've been doing for the last 2 years. I'm back at the gym now. I joined like a Planet Fitness, which is something. It's not the same. I really wish I could go back to those classes, but I'm in Planet Fitness, and I'm doing little stuff, but it's really just more about the mindset, and just knowing that you're going to be committed to staying active and moving and making sure that you're sweating. And so that's what I've done. That's been my mindset. I've gone 53 miles is the most I've done on my bike so far, but a typical ride for me is 15 to 20 miles. Like an average ride is 15 to 20 miles. And I do that without even a thought. It's not even like, I'm not riding saying, man, how much longer is this? No, I'm just like going. Like I could just go.